Very recently in my life, I've had to reflect a bit more on the fruit of the Spirit. I've had to reflect more on what it means to be able to embrace the fruit of the Spirit. Understand that really and truly the fruit of the Spirit is a part of being a Christian that has been emphasized, that has been talked about a lot of the times. And the truth is, quite a number of us still battle with the actualization of having the fruit of the Spirit. And me, for one, much more recently in my life, have seen the dynamics of how difficult it is, even in the kind of society we live in, to really embrace the fruit of the Spirit with all of the things that happen around us. And so we're faced with so many tests and events in our lives that have us needing to exhibit these fruits, but we just haven't been able to surmount our flesh. We just haven't been able to go past what the natural man would do. And so that really raises a conversation around what it means to embrace the fruits of the Spirit and what exactly having the fruits of the Spirit really means for each and every one of us. I would be reading quickly from Galatians 5, 22, 23, and then 24. It says the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. A lot of us are familiar with Galatians 5:22 and 23, and that is where it talks about the fruit of the Spirit. And that is where we're advised on what the fruit of the Spirit really is. We're told that the fruit of the Spirit is love, to embrace love, to have love, to be joyful, to have peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And the truth is, I believe that these are some of the things that we exhibit when we have truly met God. You know, it's such an interesting theory because embracing the Spirit and killing the flesh comes with embracing all of the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit are the things that we derive from having an encounter with the Spirit, from allowing ourselves to die in the flesh and embracing all of the Spirit. But one part of this that I have noticed and seen that we have found a way to dodge is the latter part of this scripture. And it says that they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. When we talk about the fruit of the Spirit, we find a way to emphasize the need to love, to have peace, to suffer long, to be patient, and all of these things. But we haven't truly talked about how to be that person. We haven't talked about how to be patient, how to love, how to have peace. And we have been told clearly in Galatians 5:24 that those who are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. And that means that there has to be a dying to self to embrace the fruit of the Spirit. A lot of us have found a way to sugarcoat and make it seem as though the fruit of the Spirit are expressed or should be expressed when it's convenient, when it is nice for us to express. But the truth of the matter is, to embrace the fruit of the Spirit, there's a dying to self. There's a dying to the natural way a man would go about things. There's a dying to the natural way we'd love to go about things. So in a situation where we'd naturally want to shout, we'd naturally want to be nice, would naturally want to not be patient with people, would naturally not want to love, we're intentionally dying to our lusts and our affection of the flesh. And so that means that we're actively killing our flesh. And so embracing the fruit of the Spirit really is dying to flesh, encountering the Spirit, being more like the Spirit, and in that turn, we're accepting these fruits. And so the true question we should ask ourselves is, how much of the flesh have I died to? How much of the flesh have I actively allowed myself to not participate in? And so once we ask ourselves that question, it sets us up for a life of really understanding what truly we need to have or to be in order to embrace the fruit of the Spirit. And so that's something we need to think about and reflect on. It's the Oyede Podcast.